Exercise S34. Analyzing the task that relates to the lecture. The professor gives the background information about the incident that was the prelude to the American War of Independence. Explain how the events were related to the colonists' behavior. Exercise S38. Responding to the integrated reading, listening, speaking tasks. 1. The University of the Rockies is planning to tear down a building on campus. Read the announcement about the demolition of the building. You have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students as they discuss the announcement.
Are you going to join our protest to stop their tearing down Old Main?
You aren't marching about that, are you? We need a fine arts complex.
I don't disagree with that, but the empty lot behind the sports arena could be used.
Well, that's true, but it's a long distance to walk. So what's so special about Old Main anyway?
Well, Old Main was the first building, actually the only building, on campus in the early days, so it has historical value. We should try to preserve our heritage. You know that it was built in the mid-1800s of stone, so built to last.
I didn't know it was that old. But it doesn't have space for classrooms, and I imagine it's a huge expense to heat in winter.
Well, in fact, those heavy walls keep heat in, so it isn't expensive. They could use it for offices. There's a shortage of offices for graduate students who have teaching assistantships.
The man expresses his opinion of the plans being made by the University Board of Trustees. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. 2. The medical faculty has announced that a guest speaker will be giving a talk. Read the announcement about the talk. You have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students as they discuss the announcement.
Hey, Sue. Want to go for a coffee?
No, thanks. I'm going to the talk about restless leg syndrome. Why don't you join me?
Never heard of it. So what's your interest?
Well, my mom suffered from it since she was a teenager. At that time, it was diagnosed as growing pains, later as a strained muscle. And then, when she began teaching, she was told it was because she was on her feet all day. After she was told it was all in her head, she quit asking and just went on suffering.
That sounds awful. So, why were the doctors so wrong?
Well, she's always described the pain as thousands of microscopic creatures eating away her calf muscles.
That's weird. So how did she finally find out what it was?
Oh, a cousin mentioned in passing the medicine that she was taking for restless leg syndrome and went on to describe what Mom had been suffering for over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she's on medication now, but I want to know more about it. It runs in families.
So you might get it.
Maybe, but I haven't had any problems yet.
The woman explains her interest in listening to the guest lecturer. State her interest and explain the problems surrounding the syndrome.